Alrighty. Well, one of the things I'm going to have to learn to do as I learn this streaming stuff is learn how to figure out how to share the link to the stream. Put these headset on here just a minute to make sure the mic is picking up all right, and it appears to be. You know, today the YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Viewers will encounter buffering. I'm sorry, viewers. Okay. Hopefully the buffering stuff will not be too much of a problem. If it is, I apologize. Today, the Texas Legislature started its biennial meeting, and they opened up. I got to watch the House open and elect their speaker. One of the things I usually do at this time of year is go and look at bills, and I do it on this website right here. It's the Texas Legislature online. When I first started looking at it several years ago, it was very confusing, and it's still got a ton of stuff on it that you can use. But it's that time for me to go and look for bills that I want to support or oppose, and I thought, well, I'll just get on YouTube and stream myself doing that in case anybody wants to watch or anybody wants to learn in the future how to do it. It'll keep it there for future use. So this is the website. Blow it up a little bit. One of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have an account. It's pretty simple to create one. Give it your email address, put a password in, and verify it when you get the email. It's not difficult. What I like to do at the start of the year is to go for a list of the bills that have been filed. You can get there by going find a list of filed bills, or you can go to reports, and then when you get to the reports tab and click on general reports, and then you will find these options right here to find House bills or find Senate bills. That's exactly what we'll just go back into it. If you go, how do I find a list of bills? It's going to tell you exactly what we just did. So we'll go to the general reports. I start with the House. They're a little more active, and we see that there are 1,300 bills that have been filed in the House for this legislative session. There is no way that they're all going to see the light of day. Now, before we go any further, remember I said you need to have an account. Here's why you need to have an account. As you go through these, you can scroll through all of them should you really feel the desire to. I'm not going to read 1,300 bills. And some of them, here's one, H.R. 23, congratulating Corbin Hanchon and Brittany Fusik Hanchon on their first wedding anniversary. Well, let's see. Here's how you would do it. You would click on that bill, and it brings you to this page. At this point, if you go to actions, there's probably going to be hardly anything other than this. As time goes by, you'll find additional information here. Text, and you can choose to look at it in PDF, plain text, or Word. I just go to plain text because that's always the easiest. They're going to celebrate their first wedding anniversary on January 29th, 2023. That resolution will have to move fast. Let's hope that it does, and let's hope that Corbin and Brittany have a wonderful first anniversary. That's kind of an interesting one. So we'll close out of those. That's something to notice when you open them. Watch right up here. When you click on the link, it opens it in a new tab. So depending on what browser you have, that won't be an issue at all. This is Chrome. When you do Chrome, it doesn't give you a back tab, so just be aware that it's going to open it in a new tab. If you do Edge, you can still use back, and it'll just close the tab you were on. So, who wants to search all of these? Not me. Relating to certain property interests of a foreign government in agricultural land. Sounds interesting. That might be from the concern about China buying up agricultural land. So let's just see what this is. Click on the text, plain text. It's not terribly long. Foreign government does not include a recognized Indian tribe. Foreign government. The following may not lease, purchase, or otherwise acquire title to, or hold any other interest in agricultural land in this state. Foreign government company control. So, looks like they're going to grandfather some people in. Cannot be renewed if it's a lease. So here's what I'm going to do. I think that's a good idea. I don't think that foreign governments should be able to own our food producing land. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to add this to a bill list. Now I have already created some bill lists. I'm going to add this to my support bill list. And my comment is stop farming our food production, that's short, out to foreign government. Okay. That was successfully added to the bill list. Now, they also have an alert list. I'm going to add it. You can choose, you know what? You can choose any category, and it will give you an email alert anytime any of this stuff happens. You know what? Probably not going to see a whole lot of action on this one. I'm just going to leave it like that. And put, because I don't remember, let me see here. China farming us. So whenever any of those actions that occurred on that drop-down list happen with this bill, I'll get an email that'll notify me of it. You can also, let's find something that I am not going to support. If you're using Windows, you can hit Control F and it'll bring this little window up here open. And I don't like woke stuff, so let's go for. Oh, yeah. Sexual orientation or gender identity for certain public school students. That's that's an interesting one. Let's see what that is. That could be one that I support or oppose. I don't remember if I looked at that one earlier. So what we want to do is go look and see what it is. School district shall adopt a procedure for notifying the parent that a student enrolled in the district or any change in services provided to the monitoring. Procedure adopted under subsection A must reinforce the fundamental right of the parent to make decisions regarding upbringing and control of the parent's child, not requiring school district. Encourage a student to discuss issues relating to the student's well-being with the student's parent, or facilitate a discussion described under subsection 1. May not adopt a procedure or a student support form, questionnaire, or health screening that prohibits a district employee from notifying the parent of a student regarding information about. So, seems pretty innocuous. Let's find out what this gender part's about. Let's do the search again. Restriction on instruction regarding a school district may not provide or allow a third party to provide instruction regarding sexual orientation. How about sexual anything? To students enrolled in kindergarten through 8th grade in a manner that is not age appropriate or. See, this is one that I'm going to support, and so I will go over here and I will add this to bill list, and I will add it to support, and supports parents' rights in child's exposure to sex. All right, we're going to click OK. Added to bill list. I'm going to want that one added to my alert list because when it comes up for parental rights, favor. When that one comes up for a vote, I want to know about it so that I can encourage my elected officials to take the appropriate action when necessary. So we've got we had quite a few of these gender things here. Relating to prohibition on funding for gender reassignment. Let's check it out. By the way, if you want to click PDF, most browsers now will open a PDF version of it, and you'll notice, wow, this is very slow. Oh, it's an embedded actual Adobe Acrobat. The text is a little more readable, but not necessarily a whole lot, although it does break it down into pages so you can see kind of how long the bill is. Gender means, okay, gender reassignment, yep. No funds authorized or appropriated by state law will be expended for any gender reassignment. They shall not be expended for health benefits that cover gender reassignment. Does not apply to gender reassignment to be performed on an intersex person. This is the kind of bill that somebody in the media will grab and say, look, they're trying to stop people from transitioning that are on Medicare or whatever. And somebody inevitably will bring up these people. There is a small group of people that are intersex, and it's defined right there for you, that have non-normal characteristics. That's probably a nice way of saying it. And it doesn't deny them getting the help they need. It's for a person that has just complete male or complete female wanting to go and change themselves. So this one, I am going to add it to my bill list, and I'm going to add it to support. No public funds for gender reassignment. And it's been added to my bill list. Close it. I really want to find one that I oppose so that I can do this. Relating to the acceptance of identification for that might be an interesting one. Let's go look and see. I didn't get the tour last time, but I'm not going to take the tour this time either. Required training related to accepting voters who identify as transgender. Each program, standard, or material for any training developed under this subchapter must include guidance for election workers to accept photo ID that may not align with the person's presenting gender expression or identity. No. I'm going to say no. See, I'm kind of it's not, this one's not an easy one to oppose, but my whole thing with opposing all that woke stuff is the forcing of other people to agree and verbalize and act as though this transgender stuff is real in their world, and it's not real at all. So this one will go on an opposed list, which, if you've noticed, I don't have one. So I need to create a new bill list, and it will be called Oppose. Bill list description. Bills I oppose. Forcing others to accept wrong gender to vote. Successfully added to bill list. So now I've got 3 bill lists. Gender modification drugs, really relating to the statute of limitations on healthcare liability. I'm going to skip that one for now. You know what? I'm going to relating to the prohibition of certain discrimination. I don't want anybody to be discriminated against, but housing, yeah, we're going to look at this one. I just mostly want to oppose anything that even introduces gender ideology into Texas state law. It's not even a path we need to start down. Liability arising from discrimination. Grieved person includes any person who claims to have been injured and believes they public accommodation means a business or other entity that offers public food, shelter, recreation, or amusement. Religious organization. School. Whoa, this is fixing to be interesting. Maybe. Does not apply to a religious organization. This is the trick right here where they go, no, it's not going to apply to your church or your little church school. It's just going to apply to everything else in society, and then when people are comfortable with it, we'll come after you. Yeah. Except as provided by subsection B, this chapter does not apply. So let's see here. Public accommodations. And what did they define that as? Food, shelter. Could that be a house? Discriminates against or segregates. Wow, how many pages is this thing? 20 pages? No. No, see, this doesn't even, no. I don't need to read past that. There's no need to add to bill list. So I'm going to go to oppose and forcing public it's not going to all fit anyway. Forcing people to rent home, serve transgenders. I don't have any rental property, but if I did, I would not want to rent it to somebody that, in my opinion, was disconnected from reality. Would not be good. Let's see if there's anything, since we had children earlier. There's 5 things that say sex. Relating to the change of name for certain persons and sex. And the issuance. We're going to look at that one in a minute. Relating to the applicability of sex offender registration. We'll look at that one later. Same-sex relationship statuses. Relating to a name. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, so let's look up parental. Now, here's a little fun game that I like to play. We're going to go to the House members. Was that Van Dever? Who is Gary Van Dever? Gary Van Dever is a Republican. All right. Relating to parental rights regarding a threat assessment of a student conducted. Safe and supportive school team. Well, schools have sure changed since I went to them. We're going to keep using this Adobe now. I think it looks better on the screen. Relating to, it's 2 pages. I will absolutely support this because it supports a parent's right to have a say-so. That allows them to protect their kid. So we want to support it. Mandates. Oh, I thought it wouldn't allow me to type all that in there. Okay. I think I'm not going to add that one to my alert list. Relating to Hull. Let's see what Hull is. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Hull, we don't know yet. Lacey Hull, I'm guessing female. But you never know. Alright. American politician. I'm going to bet that this is probably going to be a bill that I'll support. We'll just make sure. Text. Click the PDF icon. You can open it up. And section 2804 I3. And let's open this link. I-3. Wonder what before a student may be provided with homosexuality instruction, must obtain the written consent. Student's parent, a request for written consent under this subsection may not be included with any other notification or request for written consent. Oh. Yep. Somebody was trying to sneak that in there. Will this make parental consent expire? That would be an interesting bit to see. Look at all those. Your battle is for your children's mind, people. Look at those changes. And you can go in here while we're talking about, I'm going to do this before I go any further. I'm going to add to my support bills list. Protects parental rights. And then one of the things you can do on the Texas state site, this right down here tells you all the action that's been done. Obviously, it's going to take a little more work because there's no hyperlinks on here in the earlier sections. But if you want to see what modification was made in 2019, then you can go right down here. Oh, look here. And go section 1.08. And you can get the text and the bill that modified it. And you can do these same things if you wanted to go really deep dive and see who added that. You could research it here and you could find out. So we will close that. I'll close that. Close that. Let's see here. Abortion's controversial. Relating to the repeal of law. Yep, I am. Tallarico. Any bet on which party Mr. or Mrs. Tallarico belongs to? Because I've got a sneaking suspicion that James Tallarico is going to be a Democrat. Look at that. He is a Democrat. I mean, I'm not saying that Democrats all support the killing and murdering and slaughter of babies. I'm just saying maybe that was a lucky guess. So, we will go to this bill. Pretty sure I'm going to not want to see it pass. Got to make sure, because I don't want to fall victim to right-wing propaganda either. Is amended to be as followed. Authorize the initiation of a cause of action against prosecution. It may not be construed to okay, so this is going to be a bill. Oh, man, look at this. Chapter 170. Yeah, I want to know what you're trying to get rid of. No, we need to keep abortion illegal. Now, this is one where you definitely, I'm going to add it to the bill list. And what I do with these, I'm not going to make everybody sit here because, while I won't look at all 1,300 bills that have been introduced, I may end up looking at quite a few of them. I'm going to get a list and I will give it to my legislator. I will send it to my representative for the House bills, who's James Frank, and let him know that I oppose these and that as my representative, I would like him to oppose them as well. I'm sure on a vast majority, we will line up pretty close anyway. But it's my responsibility as a citizen of this state to do that. So, if you're wondering, well, okay, that's neat. Now I know how to save a bill or look up a bill, see what's going on. How do I contact my legislator? If you don't know who it is, go right here and it's going to tell you find your representative on the House website, your senator on the Senate website. You can click them right there. Or when you're on this page, do like we did earlier, hover over that. It's going to get a drop down. Members. These are all the members of the House. That's not going to be the right one. My bad. So we'll go this way. You can find your representative on, there we go. I watched this dude get elected to the House of Representatives as the Speaker. So how do I send an email to my representative? It's an alphabetical list of members. There's actually on here a map who represents me. Then you can just put in your stuff in here. Let's say if you live in Archer County, then you'll find, hey, look, it's the same guy that represents me. You'll find Representative James B. Frank is your House representative. Whoa. I zoomed in a little crazy like there, didn't I? So you would know that that's who your representative in the state is, your U.S. congressional representative, Texas senator, U.S. senators. I like this one kind of, don't care for this one too much. But that's how you can do all that. And then there is, I was trying to remember where the bill, we created these bill listings. Right here. Create a bill list. So then you end up with this page here. And if you want to go, these are the bills I support, you run it. And it's going to give you a list of the bills that you've added to that bill listing, so that you can check on them. As time goes on, activity will occur on them. But I would recommend, whether you're left or right, obviously I'm right, but if you live in the state of Texas, I would recommend you use this. It's a great resource to make your voice heard. Having worked in government all my life, one of the things I can say is that honestly, elected officials want to hear from you. They want to hear from you. They want to know how they're doing their job. They want to know if you're satisfied with it. They want your opinion on things that they're considering, because most of them know that their own personal view isn't necessarily the view of everybody that they represent. And I have seen frustration a lot of times over the years, tax hearings, whatever, when people go to get input and nobody's there to give it. It's just like nobody cares. And if you think about these controversial issues, gender identity, parental rights, it's weird that that's controversial, parental rights, abortion, if you have a preference on those and you're not making it known, I promise you somebody else is making their preference known. So if you live in this great state, you need to be taking advantage of this right here. My fingers. You need to take advantage of this website and just, if nothing else, pick one or two. Pick one or two bills, become familiar with them, and follow them as they go through the process. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.